just attacking incredibly fast, stealing
Yeah,
a
the
ton of
number one thing that OD, aside from raw int, obviously number one thing that OD needs item-wise, right, is that attack.
Exactly.
Even care about his farm and just care about getting in position to bully back the opposition. I think that that's just the strong suit for the hero right now. Like obviously we said that the safe lane support would focus mostly on his own carry for a little bit and then make that rotation around level 2 or 3. I think this is a perfect situation to do that. Like Dazzle is all about turning fights and enabling your core heroes and your aggressive heroes to get involved, and I think Nyx and Slaughter are going to be very, very involved. Now, they do this time have a few better defensive and reactive supports, which was their weakness in the previous laning phase. Clutch Gamers had the Sven and Disruptor, now Juggernaut and Wyvern, heroes that can actually really fight back to a large extent. I still think that Wyvern is a little weaker in the earlier levels. Like, obviously, like her ideal is like level 5 through 7, whereas her 1 through 4 is a little bit weaker, but in general, as long as you get a Cold Embrace out when the Slaughter is right on top of a target, you're still going to be able to limit some of that incoming damage, and the worst case scenario thereafter is Juggernaut spins. Yeah,
it's interesting to me because on the one hand, the Winter Wyvern is a really clever response to a troll strat, right? Because they troll presses R, and you curse somebody, and they burn down their own teammate. On the other, though, with the Dazzle already on the board, you know, he can, unless he's the target of the Winter's Curse, which isn't ideal, he can always save the person that gets cursed.
Right. That's the one downside to the Winter's Curse right now, is that there is a Dazzle ready with that grave to save whoever
They
is
didn't
target.
ban Darkseer? Well, that seems like the
That's
biggest
so
mistake of this
weird.
draft, actually. We've seen, like, you guys remember, like the
I
metagame that was
Yeah.
Darkseer Wyvern. Like, that was a super combo.
And I get it. I
At a
got
TI
why
level.
they banned Axe ahead of it, right? Because you wanted to take the Dazzle, but you just assumed that with Clutch Gamers not picking their offlaner in the second phase, that Darkseer was going to be that fifth ban. I wasn't even watching the screen.
I don't actually think Darkseer is that great of a combo with the Winter Wyvern, though.
Okay.
You can vacuum all in, right, and you have the curse on someone, but at the end of the day, only one person's going to be taking that damage. So overall, like, I don't think it's going to be a great...
I mean, but
Yeah,
like,
I'm on board with Blaze.
in this push lineup, like, you kill one person and then
Yes.
you're good. Like, there's no grave response because the Dazzle's inside the combo.
Exactly. That's my thing.
It's
is
like
that now
you only kill one person, but then it's not just like 1/5 of TnC is dead. It's their entire potential to take that fight.
Yeah, I mean the vacuum makes it so that Dazzle doesn't get that automatic grave save.
I feel like they can space it out, though. I think you guys might be, you know, overestimating just how powerful the vacuum is. I mean, Dazzle grave range is a 1,000. I feel like there's really no excuse as to why you should 100% get vacuum.
Now the OD ban on the other side is absolutely like 100% necessary, right?
I think so.
I was with you. I kind of expected the OD to come out in the second phase, and there's just as much argument that you pick it up now.
Yeah. Right now, TnC's lineup can definitely space themselves out if there is a Darkseer coming out. At the same time, I mean, I'm not like trying to say that it's not a great pick, but it's not, you know, the end-all be-all.
Yeah, it won't auto win the draft or anything. I
for
just
sure.
feel like it's like the best ban by far, especially compared to Sand King. Like Sand King sure has follow-up to a curse with Epi, Blink, and Burrow, but I just feel like in this context that more likely TnC are going to be wanting to space it out so it's only a one-man curse anyways.
I just feel like there's not enough disable. That's why I'm not the biggest fan of the vacuum. Because if you end up picking the Darkseer, you know, your only lockdowns are going to be a Fire Blast and Winter's Curse, vacuum.
Who do you like better in the offlane position?
10 seconds.
I honestly think that Sand King was the right bet, because Sand King would have been good.
Omni Knight.
That was not what I thought we would see.
Not at all. I definitely thought the Darkseer had a lot of potential just because Hannah has picked it up so many times, and obviously it coincides pretty well with a lot of their other options. But
that's nasty.
Yeah, I really like this pick.
That is.
I think they have the right
nasty.
idea. This is how you play around the Winter's Curse. You just pick all the cores that can really space themselves away from everyone else.
I see that. Yeah, I think that's
and again, without the threat of the vacuum, like the short radius of the Winter's Curse becomes even more of a problem. I don't see how you get in on the sniper with this group of heroes. Like you don't have a natural blink carrier. You don't have anybody in that Clutch Gaming lineup that is going to be able to get in the back line of the TnC team and threaten the sniper.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but adversely, like I think that the gameplay for TnC has to be to kill Omni Knight really quickly, and as long as they can't really control the Wyvern, that's going to be very difficult. So, where you have to either kill the Wyvern or the Omni Knight at the start of a fight, I feel like it's going to be very difficult for TnC to get in position to do so if there's good sentry usage from Clutch. So, they're going to be great at breaking towers. They're going to do their Dragon Lance thing and extend their range and poke and prod at towers all day long. But when it comes to the actual fight, I do favor Clutch.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get some predictions on the table here, guys. Easton, you and I need to redeem ourselves here.
I am going with TnC.
I'm going to go with TnC as well. I feel like they have the better approach to these fights. Blaze, though you've gotten a game right tonight. So what do you think?
I mean, I do think that TnC have the right idea. Since we saw the last pick troll in the previous game, I think that they very clearly understand what they're strong at, and they're pressing that. I have a lot of appreciation for it, but I think that with heroes like Winter Wyvern and Omni Knight, Clutch have the answer, and I'm going to go with them.
All right, you heard it here again. The panel is split. 2 of us like TnC, 1 for Clutch Gaming. Guys, this is the final game of our best-of-3 series. Loser goes home. Winner goes on to face Mineski with a slot in Kiev on the line. Let's take it out to our casters. Here are Lumi and Lyrical.
Do you think that this is a good fit for him?
We've seen actually many teams try Omni Knight in the offlane. Predominantly, actually Sam H is the player that has actually done it with the most success. In fact, not only does he win the lane, he dominates the lane by getting solo kills and whatnot. With that said, though, this is a team that knows in and out about offlane Omni, so I'm pretty sure they are also prepared to deal against it. And I think Troll Warlord is actually one of the better cores that you want against Omni Knight. Against Omni Knight in the offlane, you just want to have 2 range heroes in there. Constantly beat him up when he's coming in close.
Well, I have to see how it does work out. Sam H, Boots first build again, not opting for the Mangoes. I like it more in this match against the Jug because you obviously aren't going to get brought down by the Blade Fury since you're going to have that high movement speed. Abang does not start out with Boots himself, just for a little bit more trading, and Hana not going to be able to really contest for that bounty rune at all, but it looks like they're going to send the Ogre mid, help out with the Shadow Fiend in lane, try and get him a good start. Likewise, Tim is maybe going to be forced into that position as well.
Yep. Tim's does not have the boot start that normally you see from Slaughter supports nowadays. He's going to settle with the Wind Lace instead.
I wonder if this was because Nyx wanted to go for it too. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's actually pretty common for the 5-position support to actually just get all the wards nowadays to allow for the other support to get boots.
Well, early movement out. The headshot taken first for Cuckoo, causing some trouble and pain for the Ogre Magi.
This is actually a pretty tough lane for the Sniper in my opinion, because early on, Shadow Fiend and Sniper really actually have very low base damage. So Cuckoo's going to struggle for CS, as does the Shadow Fiend. Yeah. But when Shadow Fiend picks up a couple of damage from the Necromastery, I think that's when Cuckoo really has issues.
Well, for now at least, they're sort of holding on to the lane equilibrium across the board. You can see that Hana's been still, kind of hampered out here by Rior, who's keeping an eye on him constantly.
Pops a repel to get rid of the Poison Touch. Now, Poison Touch was actually maxed by Rior the other day when he was actually, I want to say he was laning against Ice Nyx Assassin. It turned out to be a very impressive harassing tool, but the downside of that obviously is that you don't have high levels of heal or grave.
Oh my god, a lot of damage being leveled out here against Cuckoo. Almost went down if he was able to find that raise. Cuckoo, the Fairy Fire keeping him alive. So just barely able to get out of that one, and baiting out the usage. He's going to salve up and be fine. Wow.
The last hit department, though, is suffering.
I think that's a huge play, though, because that's all of Shadow Fiend's mana. They brought in a ton of harassment from the Ogre. Like, he has to run over here and pop the Shrine now, and like Cuckoo, you don't have to be as worried about dying throughout the rest of this, well, at least a little while of the laning phase.
Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Shadow Fiend, like, if he wants mana, he can get it from the Shrine. He has a bottle coming out soon.
Okay.
It's more that Shadow Fiend has actually passed over the bump of the laning stage where he's having trouble last hitting. Look at him now, he's sitting for what, 80 something damage, almost 90 damage. And I just think that Cuckoo's gonna have trouble keeping up in terms of lasting and denying. As to say that though, he's using his fast rapid animation to kind of stay competitive.
Meanwhile, Hana has been helped out a little bit now in the top lane by the Ogre. Shadow Fiend left alone, and they're bringing over the Winter Wyvern as well. They know that Juggernaut's going to be able to have a fine time against this Nyx Assassin, so leave him here alone for a little bit. Make sure that your Shadow Fiend doesn't get ganked or anything weird happens, and with that, they should be okay. And you can see that Tim's actually wants to go in for this one. They're deciding to dive for it. Shrapnel, but Armel already on top of it. He backs out.
Yeah, Shrapnel missing pretty much says there's no chance for them to get that kill.
So Clutch Gamers off to a hot start. 15-6 for the Jug. You're about even with the Troll. You've got the Shadow Fiend pretty far ahead of the Sniper, and then meanwhile in the off lane, the Omni Knight's getting a lot of CS.
Yeah, Omni Knight is actually much harder to shut down than you would imagine, even though he's just a melee hero without any nukes to do much. The fact that he could just sustain and even trade hits very effectively against most supports is what makes him strong, and we shall see how TnC deals with it. Tim's on the prowl again, maybe looking to steal a rune. They have dropped a lot of these wards deep into the enemy jungle. I'm not exactly sure what for.
Yeah, maybe just looking to see if there ever is a rotation off into the jungle by the Shadow Fiend there, and if they don't see him in lane and they don't see him over there at the side jungle, they know that he's in his own and they could set up a gank over to that side. But they drop the repel now. That means that they can go on to Hana. So Hana ends up stealing the rune, now trying to run away. He does have no more repel for a long period of time. The crush is going to come through, and well, another purification is not going to be there. They're going to end up losing the Ogre as well, most likely. Couple quick kills there for TnC, and they lose the Shadow Fiend mid. Man it up against Cuckoo. It's all falling apart this early start, and maybe even going to end up losing Fly solo here. He's taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, the Shrine's going to help things out. The teleport in will ward away Sam H, but that is 3 kills in the span of 30 seconds, and all of a sudden TnC winning 2 out of the 3 lanes very handily. The only saving grace they got for them is the Bing's farming rather well, but Juggernaut can't really influence the early to mid game that often, right? He will get a kill with Omni Slash, whoop-de-doo, but, you know, you got to do more than that for the team. So I think overall Clutch Gamer in a very terrible spot after that 1 minute of gameplay.
And it was a lot of it, at least, set up by going for that bounty rune. Do you think about the call that came behind that? The Ogre hanging out there with them. Would the kill have happened on Shadow Fiend in the mid lane if the Ogre was there? Probably not. I mean, not that you want to be sticking around the entire time as the Ogre in the mid lane, but I don't know. Maybe a little bit questionable there, the decision by Clutch Gamers. I
think they really underestimated the damage output of Troll Warlord, because if you look on paper, you have Ogre Magi and Omni Knight. Those are some beefy heroes that shouldn't die to you know, anything. But Troll Warlord has that point into fervor, and he attacks so many times onto the Omni Knight that by the end of it, he had like, you know, close to 400 attack speed or something.
Probably the 3 points, I mean, up in the range axis as well, getting that max duration, slow duration.
Right.
Quite rough as well, that they weren't able to get away with either the Ogre or the Omni. But Fly solo in the meantime, we haven't talked a lot about him. He probably has not gotten as many levels as he would have wanted. Still up at level 3, and this push that's going to eventually come from TnC, they're going to need to deal with that with the Splinter Blast. So I would love to see the Wyvern be able to pull a bit more and possibly get some more for herself. Seems unlikely to be the case, though, as Tim's getting chased down. The Assassinate almost going to be able to bring down Armel. The Cold Embrace barely saving him, but maybe no. Not going to be able to take down Tim's with the raise.
Yeah, Shadowfiend knew he was dead, and he wants to double raise back. It would have actually killed Tim's. Would have made a pretty sick play if he did that, but unfortunately Tim's a little bit too fast. And Sniper on top of things. Now, despite the fact that Shadowfiend died twice, he's actually well ahead of Sniper when it comes to CS. But I think net worth-wise, yeah, Sniper is just leading the game now.
It's only about by 500 gold, but yeah, it's tough. And the other thing is that Sniper has gone for these very high-value items. The double Wraith Band, raindrops. He's got himself a Windlace as well. So it's quite tough for him. Like, you compare that to Armel, and well, he needs to finish off some treads pretty soon here and remain tanky in some way. Like, he's so squishy. You can just get killed off super easily.
I wonder what Cuckoo's going to buy in terms of his first major item. A lot of people go for the tried and true Dragonlance. But because I just don't think there's so many heroes that could punish him for going a greedier item, I think going for the Maelstrom might just work out here.
Yeah.
Like, what's actually going to gank him this game?
Probably the best chance would be his own teammates with Winter's Curse coming out.
Right.
Like that's, it's quite tough. I don't know if they really have that instant disable outside of that. Like you look at their team and it's just, they don't have the Slardar Crush. They don't have a Sand King Burrow Strike. They don't have a Crush from Wyvern. They need to find kills like this, which are hard to make happen. Although he did almost die there.
Yep. But again, Tim's not dying anymore, man. All right. Hana trying really hard to get this through. He will get it.
And they've been making a high priority of that. And he's, you know, come to the tune now of level 6 for the Omni Knight. So it is a lineup that if they can get it rolling and start making moves around the map, taking down these tier 1 towers, it'll be solid for him. But that's what the sniper is there for. You got the shrapnel, the long range attack stuff coming in. It's going to be hard for them to actually like push out all these creep waves consistently, or deal with the lanes being pushed against them rather.
All right, we're having a fairly passive phase of the game, apart from the fact that Tim's is, you know, rotating everywhere trying to take runes. I think passivity kind of favors, in my opinion, the sniper draft, right? Just giving him time to get farm.
I think so. And they're also taking towers while this is happening.
Right.
The other thing to mention is that Winter Wyvern has not, like, just now gained another level. Was still at level 3.
He needs
that
that
entire
too.
time.
The Toma knowledge.
Yeah. Like Winter's Curse, Splinter Blast, these spells are vital in this game. And even like the Cold Embrace is pretty valuable. I don't think that you're going to level that up. You might level it above the Arctic Burn.
Yeah,
but
you do. I think you do in this game at least.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think it's too difficult for Wyvern to catch back up. She clears creep so quickly that, you know, you give her like 2-3 minutes. She's going to come back with, you know, 800 gold and a level or 2.
All right. Oh my God, look at that scan too. Nyx knows. Oh, and they're going to go for it. The smoke pops. Fly Solo in trouble. They go for the Impale. Ends up connecting.
And now Shrapnel
Sniper,
gets vision.
Oh, God. Yeah, that really hurts. Oh, wow.
That is Sam H for you. Turns the gank around that's supposed to kill him and gets a kill back. Maybe getting a little bit more here.
Abang is on top of them.
Nice
they
raise.
use the raise.
Impale not going to connect this time. Omni Slash going to get divided. Now Cuckoo's on the run. Here comes the Troll Warlord. That's going to force a Bing away to get vision again. Assassinate's going to fly through as well. Healing Ward did get cast before he dying. And they got to take care of that healing
Really
ward.
good spike Carapace as well. And Armel, he's going to end up being brought down as well. They don't have any way to deal with this. There is no damage coming out, no Winter's Curse. It looks like Raven is going to fall, but the rest of the side of TnC is here chasing, and they can't run away from the sniper.
Yep, he needs a little bit more heal. He does pop the heal, but it got spiked backwards. Nice stun here by Sam H. Continue going to Armel. Armel's going to go down. One by one, they fall. Wyvern trying to fly over the tree lines. They have vision on him. They will clap on him, and they will defecate on him as well. That's one more. Yeah, they will go on boombacks as well. You want to come in? That's going to be 6 in a row. The C Classic. One by one by one by one by one. 7? Okay, a Bing wants to come in too.
What
this
are they
is all coming off the wheels, man.
Oh my God! The Winter Wyvern died twice in that fight. So you had
I think Ogre died
twice as well. So 7 kills to 2, definitely in favor of TnC. And again, it's just like you don't have the levels to fight, you don't have the abilities to fight, you don't have the farm to fight, you don't have the heroes to fight. But Clutch Gamers, they wanted to fight and they lost pretty hard.
I think more than like, I don't even want to say halfway through the fight, but like maybe 20% into the fight, they realize, oh, this is not the fight we could take. The problem is, it's so hard to run from Shrapnel. It's so hard to run from a Slardar. So they kind of retreated as best as they could. They you know, even ran past the shrine. How many times do you see a team fighting into the shrine and still winning that fight, right? So I think it's just the fact that the Shrapnel was just wrecking them.
Yeah, I think so, definitely. And it's sort of the storyline that we've been talking about, these supports not getting these levels up in time and You look at a hero like Slardar and what he brings to these engagements at level 4 when they started that. He had a crush, which still ends up doing the 1.75 seconds to disable, sprint so he can continue the chase, and then what does Wyvern bring? You set up kills for your team by cold embracing him at this point, because even though there's not a ton of magical damage, there's a little bit, and by that time TnC are able to wrap around. TnC just proving to be a very well-composed lineup that know what they need to do to win.
Cold Embrace in particular, it's not just about the magic damage, it's the fact that the hero just gets stuck there. So when you Shadow Fiend Cold Embrace in the middle of the fight, your team can't run away because you're not going to run away from your Shadow Fiend, right? Yeah. So then as a result, everybody's stuck there. It's like he RP'd his own team, which is not really good.
Well, and so here's the thing that I'm thinking about as well. The game, it's a big net worth lead for TnC off the back of that. But if you are clutch gamers, you are still going to be able to execute your draft at a certain point. It's a lot harder than it would have been, but it doesn't mean that it's impossible to execute the draft the way that you wanted it to. Now that being said, if TnC here can get an Aegis...
Yeah, I see. Here's the thing. TnC is a team that gets one advantage and just press for more. They are not going to give you a room to breathe.
Yeah.
So Clutch Aimer, if they want to execute their lineup, they need to find the time to do so. They need to find the network to do so, and I just don't think they will have either.
And I think they are going to smoke now, which is going to be scouted out by Sam H. And yeah, that's about the long and the short of it. Clutch Gamers running into the powerhouses TnC, who, after a little bit of a rocky day number 1, came up and started showing up in this SEA qualifiers, proving they deserve a spot.
Oh, for sure. They are the world champion, right? WESG. Why you laugh, man?
No reason, nothing at all.
Are you a world champion?
I'm not a world champion.
There you go. The only person that gets to laugh at them is Aosin, because he's the Nexon champion.
That's right.
Yeah.
This man, what a set bar to set.
All right, man.
2-11. Abang still there with the Helm of the Dominator. Armel going back for the casual Shadow Amulet. And he's going to finish off the Shadow Blade now. So there's avenues to come back into this. He's got level 12. He's got the level 2 Requiem. Maybe, just maybe, you walk on top of that sniper, you pop your ulti, and he explodes.
I mean, Wyvern's got the curse as well, so they definitely have more counterplay potential. If that team fight happened again, in the same way that it did, I think Clutch Gamer would... You could argue that they could even come out ahead if they use their AoE ults well enough.
Right.
The problem is, are they going to be able to find those opportunities? Because the way I'm seeing things, TnC is going to, nicely stay behind in a widespread conclave and just going to hit your buildings.
They're moving in now, though.
Oh, dude, the Centaur stop.
Oh, that was really well played. They need to get into range, but Armel already down to such low HP. They use the Purification, Shadowblade away. It reveals what he had the whole time, and, well, Abang not going to be able to do anything off here to the right side of the fight either.
All right, go back, and look at that 3 TPs down to the bottom side. There's no towers to do there, so I'm not sure exactly what the 3-man TP is about, but...
Yeah, I think that they were maybe caught themselves off guard as well. I guess they're just going to push the wave out one time. No, they're heading mid.
Yeah, the mid is the next objective.
Okay. And look at how afraid they have to be, because Sam H isn't showing on the map. With the Midas, he doesn't have to. He can still farm while maintaining this pressure onto all of Clutch Gamers.
Right. I am surprised that Tim's has not gotten his blink yet. 16 minutes in, his team's doing exceptional. They've taken a lot of objective.
Yeah, he's almost got it, though.
Yeah.
All right, this is maybe the avenue into it. Armel has a haster, and he's got a Shadow Blade. If they can find a Winter's Curse, he is going to drop that ulti onto their heads. That is their win condition for this fight.
Again, for the Winter's Curse, gotta catch Rior. Either directly on him or have him in the AoE, or else that Grave is gonna make things a little bit difficult as well. Now the good thing for them is that the Grave is actually not maxed yet, so the cast range is actually pretty shoddy.
Yeah, 700, not the best in the world. I think that that's still going to be less than the Winter's Curse, which is 500, yeah, or more than, sorry.
Yeah.
So you can still get the Grave off.
It depends if, like, maybe you come in from an awkward angle, or, if there's some cliffs involved.
Yeah. I think that the dream is just catch Rior in the range. Definitely. But The smoke play now. They're wrapping around. Winter Wyvern is de-warding. They are very aware of where she's at.
Oh, she's aware too. She flies out.
All right, time to get out. Blink, crush. Oh, they're on to fly solo.
That's
and now the
back.
tree's taken down, and everybody run away.
That's back. Because he could have flew either direction, up or down.
Yeah, man. I like Armel's play here. You just got to take down the creep wave, try and cut it whatever you can, but how long is this really going to be able to last? Not that long.
Yep, TnC poised to take that last tower. I'm looking at Fly Solo. I'm thinking if he has the time, he should go straight Blink. Because I feel like they need...
that's a really... Yeah, I'm with you, but like, look at this man's net worth.
I mean, like some Wyvern player out there be like, oh, I get a arcane boost and all that stuff. No. You just go Blink.
Yeah. I mean, he has 890 net worth just as a whole.
Hey, man, sometimes you could get a big kill on a core.
Yeah.
Blink Impale, that's going to be on 2. Blink Stun as well, but they got the repel. Nice.
Oh, looking for that angle.
Curse.
It's got to be perfect.
Where's
Are
the
they
curse?
in range?
Curse.
On to Sam H. Maybe
Oh,
no.
Fly
Fly
Solo.
Solo. Cold Embrace isn't going to save you now.
Rip Fly
Oh,
Solo.
God. Well,
Wait,
maybe
wait,
turn
wait,
around
wait.
purification. No, we got bashed.
What did he do? He
Oh,
attacked
no.
Sniper once.
God, and now that's the Shadow Fiend dead. All of their team fight is gone. Omni Slash is there, but honestly, Aubang cannot hold this alone. The Aegis is reclaimed, okay. Maybe something. If they could find a kill onto Raven right now, but there's so many targets for Omni.
Yeah, they are. I mean, Wyvern's dead. They don't mind clumping up right now.
Yeah.
Okay, Wyvern's back alive because he's level 6.
Go in for it. We got to see it.
Man, his cast range is so low. Blink, Crush coming through. Tower has gone down, so they can stay here indefinitely if they want, but they'll back it up, get more items.
I mean, the thing is, too, is you've got, like, Dazzle ulti on you as well. Like,
Yeah.
Weave is about at full duration at this point, too. You really do need the combination of, like, the Wyvern ulti and then the Shadow Fiend Requiem, and if you don't find that, you're just gone.
When you say the combination of those spells, obviously
Time it perfectly.
Yeah, you have to time it perfectly, which is one more thing that Clutch Gamer needs to do, but they have to do it.
I mean, this is not the dream for them. This is not the way they wanted this game to go. Look at it, Wyvern. She's got the blink queued up.
She heard it.
Yeah. Lumi giving advice all over the place today. And honestly, the same thing that you were talking about, Tim's needed to step up. Let's look at this guy. Currently 1-1-7. He's been involved in, a lot of his team's kills at this point, more than half of them. He's been stepping up, particularly that game number 2. Hey, man.
I'm telling you, if anybody need life coach advice, I'll send in my resume. Or,
Do you have a resume?
of course I do.
Okay.
What are you trying to say?
I don't have a resume anymore.
Oh, I see.
Can I get some life coach advice?
All right. We'll talk about rates later on.
All right, fair enough. 2-14. We are Maelstrom, as well as Hurricane Pike on a sniper. Dazzle also has the Solar Crest now too, so with that 1,000 cast range, you're going to be able to get that as long as you don't get caught. And there's no reason for Dazzle to stand near any of these heroes now. Like, he can throw out the Solar Crest. Nobody's really going to die inside of the Winter's Curse anymore, I don't think.
So I didn't see the order of Cuckoo's item choice. Do you know if he went for the Dragonlance first or the Maelstrom first?
I was not able to see it either, but we can watch at the end of the game.
Well, a ping. Just spin away. Oh, that weave though.
Yeah.
Disengage.
That's tough. And the amp damage there as well is going to reveal everything that's going on with Ogre. They're just all over him. And I don't think the TnC are under any pressure at all to try and end this right now. They've got Midas.
They're waiting for Roche.
Yeah.
Which is coming up rather soon.
Let's see exactly how long it is. If the timer is going to be in their favor or not. Come on, Mr. Clock. I believe in you. All right, it's a long timer. That's about the longest timer it could be.
Yeah, that's a lucky break for Clutch Gaming. That means they get a little bit more time to, I don't know, build towards that Wyvern blink. Wyvern, you're losing gold. Every time I look at him, he's got less and less gold.
Yeah.
What's happening? And I think they all might have just double smoked there.
Did
Clutch
they really?
Gamer. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Maybe I mislooked, but
Looks like Ogre still has one.
okay.
Yeah, but they're looking down here to the bottom, expecting somebody to move in. TnC all together in the mid lane. They will not run into anybody here.
All right.
They have another smoke, though. You could try again. Go mid.
No, I gotta push out these waves. Already dubious enough.
All right. Blink Dagger done for Slardar. We talked about he's going back for a 4-staff now as well. I feel like they're in a position where they can just end that game if they want with the next Roshan.
Why take the risk, right?
Well, I mean, once they get the next
Yeah,
Roshan.
yeah, yeah. I think some players would be like, why don't you just push now? You're so far ahead. You know, there's no need to.
Well, I mean, this is the thing too. Is they're one game away from going up against Mineski? Like,
Right.
There's a very real possibility you can throw this game still.
Cuckoo's going for blink on sniper. That's some next level stuff.
We've seen this before. I think in these qualifiers. I don't remember if it was Cuckoo that played it or not, but he ended up going. It was blink, hurricane pike, and then just all damage items. Sold his boots as well later on.
That was OD. That I remember that happening.
There was a sniper game where it happened too.
Okay.
It was in. It might have been in the opens. I feel like it might have been Vici Gaming actually. I don't remember, but I've seen this in this patch at least.
Uh-oh. Get away. But they're so mobile.
And even if you catch two there, I don't think that you can find the kill that in the even. Like unless you have everybody.
I mean, maybe the curse actually lasts quite a while, such that the rest of the team could come up. And it's getting so close to Roche that if you get a kill there, and maybe get the Roche. I know we're dreaming here, but you know, the scenario is that if you could get a kill or two, you get Roche, and suddenly you're kind of back in the game, or at least you brought yourself much more time.
And they've got fighting-ish items right now too. Omni Knight, Aether Lens, as well as the mechanism. You've got the Silver Edge completed now on the Shadow Fiend as well. So you're going to be able to start to disable some of these passives that these heroes have, you know?
Yeah.
Thinking about it. It's as well as just the damage mitigation. That's the bigger part probably. Damage reduction that you get from the Silver Edge. That part of this ability is, this part is still so good. 50%.
All right, Roche is finally up. Your Alpha Wolf friend let them know.
Solar Crest there. Raven can just start going to town if he wants. It does look like they scan. Did they scan or?
Oh, they're backing up. They're expecting Clutch Gamer to come, and they're correct.
Yeah, I think that both teams simultaneously drew on the map that this is the way they're going to be going.
All right, Wolf is going to break the smoke.
Well, fly solo right on top of him. Oh, that was your moment. That was your time. Now he's going to most likely die.
They did take out Sam H, though, and the Wyvern's alive as a result. He's trying to retreat, and there's that. Oh. All right, time it perfectly.
Oh,
that is,
what? Tim's?
Tim just went in there and took the whole full brunt of that. Oh, he might be dead regardless, but the creep wave is actually helping out, zoning them. Bing's in there. The healing ward gets popped immediately. They're trying to retreat. We've seen this one before. It's hard to retreat against this team. Raven as well as Rio are catching it up. And right now, Cuckoo's godlike two-man stun on Hana. Hana's going to be dead as well. And again, it's a slow retreat. Force that forward. Right clicks are being dropped on Armel. And they got another Blink stun in a couple seconds. Blink.
Oh, good.
Wait.
That was really
Nice
well
race.
played.
Is he still dead? No, he's fine.
That was really well done by Armel. I've been impressed with his play throughout these qualifiers.
Yep.
But that one hurt. TnC probably gave them a little bit of more of an opening than they should have by just jumping in there with the
All right, so
Tims.
yeah. So Sam
H.
just died to an Omni Slash, right? So it was a 5v4, and then Tim's initiated himself into the Requiem of Souls, and Clutch Gamer still lost the fight.
Yeah, Tim's was just like, "Come take me. I'll take the Requiem." I think he wanted to break it with the blink. Yeah,
it was just a tad late.
I mean, that was never going to work, right? Like, Dazzle was there with Grave just staring at the troll.
Yep.
Like, there was no way that was going to end up working.
And I'm just going to say Fly Solo is not exactly impressing me on the Wyvern. We have not seen any good stuff from him. And I don't think it's just him playing poorly. It's just rather the game is so tough on a Wyvern. When you're behind like this and your hero is super slow, you don't have any mobility items, you don't have an Aether Lens to help you out, it's just hard to cast, Winter's Curse and Cold Embrace in the most efficient manner.
Well, and it relies upon TnC to make plays that are bad. It relies on them to group up, and TnC
TnC, you saw those plays just now. They were not stellar plays, right?
Right, but that's in the midst of like a semi-chaotic smoke-on-smoke action.
Sure.
The majority of these have been like slow sieges in the mid lane, and they know TnC, the only way that Clutch Gamers win is with a good Winter's Curse, and they've been playing around that. So, yeah, I think that Fly Solo is impressed in the others games, but this one, like, they're just so far behind. It's almost 20,000 net worth lead.
Mid lane. Gotta be careful here.
Butterfly on Troll now. Can't really Winter's Curse him anymore. And TnC on the verge of making it out of this lower bracket matchup to face off against Mineski. Can they do it?
Don't count your Cluckles before they hatch, man.
What?
You don't know what a Cluckles is? It's the chicken courier.
Okay.
With the rocket boosters.
All right, I'm with you. I wasn't, but now I am.
Okay.
Armel up front and center, trying to man up against the
God,
Troll. This is not the. Oh wow! Woo, baby! I was very emblematic of how this game has been looking. Raven going head to head as well with Abeng. Maybe, just maybe, they can make something happen there. Still dealing the damage to him, and well, trying to burn through that first one. They jump forward. They get the crush on a Fly Solo. Getting healed up. Shrine, every damn thing. It's going to be enough to keep him alive for the moment.
All right. I mean, Clutch Gamer has really exhausted a lot of these resources. Most of the shrines are running dry.
And they lost their melee barracks, too.
Yep. Fly Solo. All eyes on you, man. Actually, even if he cursed somebody right now, I'm not even sure if they die. Like, maybe if everybody surrounding him, they die. But, like, a level 1 curse is not that strong.
Yeah, it has to have the follow-up Requiem, and it needs to be timed perfectly, and Armel needs to be able to get there in time. There's so many things that need to go right, and nothing can go wrong.
Oh, Fly Solo.
Maybe the way to make it happen. They're actually in a good position with this one. If he spots out Kuku right now and goes on him, they would be able to catch, but they don't realize that Nyx is in the area as well.
Oh, he's looking for it.
Oh, he wants it so
Where's
bad. Walking forward, but
No!
Sam H, he found him. Sam H on top of him. They might end up even actually reflecting it onto Fly Solo. Ends up going for the Cold Embrace. And
oh, Fly Solo is done.
he's in trouble. Needs to get it off. Can't happen. And, well, this is probably going to be...
Wait, did they just disjoint the Omni Slash with the Force Staff? They
yeah,
did.
that was pretty sick.
All right.
Oh, man. Well, Ignite's going to get thrown back now at the Ogre. They're going to pop the Battle Trance, walking forward. Armel misses the raise. Oh, there's the Grave, and now maybe going to be able to go for a bit more. Armel going to drop. There's the Aegis going down. They buy back. Can they take this fight? They still have Winter's Curse.
I mean, I'm sure they always have it because he hasn't cast it yet. At least not a good one. There we go, Curse!
Going in, get the curse, get the curse. It's
But they're all
on even
stunned.
Sam H. No, they're all stunned. They don't even get the kill.
That's what I'm telling you. At this point, I don't think a Curse is going to be enough, and now it's
Oh.
going to be Shadow Fiend going down as well.
He only had 4 souls. It's the saddest of death requiems. Oh, God. TnC continuing to establish dominance and build memes right in front of our eyes.
Where's the 3-2-2?
We're waiting for it. It's almost there.
But they can't die. It's a very precarious situation. Nobody wants a 422.
It's not the meme. TnC up to the top. Tier 3 under assault. Raven taking it down, and with Clutch Gamers, maybe, possibly, can they do it? Tim's braved
Abing?
away. Abing. Now he's still alive. They've got a lot of... Oh, my God.
Oh.
All right, Raven just decided to kill him, and there we go. We got it.
No, we didn't. The meme failed.
Dude, what are you talking about?
Oh, you're talking about GG.
GG ends up coming through as TnC
I was looking
are
like-
going to move on. For
Okay, at
Mineski.
least we got 420.
There you
so
go.
that's fine too. You're talking about more important things. I'm talking about memes.
TnC are going to bring down Mineski. A good display from Clutch Gamers throughout the group stages. I think this is a team that people are going to have to be on the lookout for. These players aren't going anywhere anytime soon. I hope that they stick together and continue to play well, because the hallmark of their games was solid team fights. And this was definitely a departure from that. I think that they got outdrafted a good deal in this game. But what's your read on Clutch Gamers, and then afterwards also TnC?
I mean, Clutch Gamers, I think we've all kind of said the same thing, just really, really good teamwork. Maybe they need to expand playstyles. It seems like they rely a lot on team fights.
Yeah.
Even if they're, whether they're ahead or behind, they rely on their team.